This is match 4 of the FIFA World Cup 2026. The United States against Paraguay, SoFi Stadium, Los Angeles, June 12, 2026. 70,000 people, one nation holding its breath, and two teams with everything to prove standing just meters apart. And standing across from the United States, a Paraguay side that beat Argentina, arrived in Los Angeles quietly, calmly, and with absolutely nothing to lose. The last-minute updates are in. The stadium is full. Will the USA survive Paraguay? Defender Chris Richards, one of the most important players in Mauricio Pochettino's defensive setup. A player who missed the final weeks of his club season with an ankle injury and whose place in tonight's starting lineup has been uncertain right. Up until the very last moment, nobody in the American camp has given a straight answer. Every press conference question about Richards has been met with careful words and cautious smiles. But the anxiety in the eyes of the coaching staff tells a different story entirely, because Paraguay have been watching, Paraguay have been taking notes. And Paraguay know that a weakened American defense, on the biggest night of their football lives, is an opportunity they simply cannot afford to waste. Do not let the numbers mislead you. Paraguay arrive at this World Cup ranked 39th in the world. On paper, underdogs. On paper, the team that the United States are expected to beat comfortably in front of their own crowd. On paper, a nation that should present no serious threat to a squad packed with European-based professionals playing at the peak of their powers. But football has never been played on paper. This is a team that beat Argentina 2-1 in qualifying. A team that beat Brazil 1-0. A team that looked the two greatest footballing nations in South America directly in the eye and did not blink. A team that coach Gustavo Alfaro has built into something genuinely difficult to break down. Compact. Physical, disciplined, dangerous on the counter attack in the blink of an eye. Their goalkeeper Gatito Fernandez is among the most reliable shot stoppers in South American football. Their defensive structure, led by Gustavo Gomez and Junior Caceres, is organized, aggressive, and deeply experienced. In midfield, they press with intensity and transition with a speed that has caught better teams completely off guard. And then there is Julio Enciso, 22 years old, Paraguay's most gifted and most unpredictable attacking talent, the player that every analyst, every scout, every opposing coach circled on their notepad the moment the group stage draw was made. In a pre-tournament friendly against Nicaragua, Enciso went down. A leg and knee injury that left him sitting alone in the center of the pitch. Tears streaming down his face, unable to contain the heartbreak of feeling everything he had worked for slipping away in a single cruel moment. The images traveled around the world instantly. The football community held its breath. But here is the last-minute update that changes the entire picture tonight. Enciso is here. He made the squad. He traveled to Los Angeles. And whether Alfaro unleashes him from the first whistle or holds him back as the most devastating weapon on his bench, his presence alone is enough to keep every American defender awake with anxiety. A fully fit Julio Enciso on his best day is the kind of player who makes things happen that nobody in the stadium saw coming. One touch, one turn, one moment of individual magic that the goalkeeper never had a chance to stop. The United States know it, Pochettino knows it, and 70,000 fans inside SoFi Stadium tonight will know at the moment he receives his first ball. But this American team is not here to be afraid. Under Mauricio Pochettino, one of the most respected and tactically intelligent coaches in world football, the United States arrive at this tournament with genuine belief, not the cautious, measured belief of a team hoping to survive. The deep, quiet, earned belief of a squad that has prepared for this moment for years and knows exactly what it is capable of. The expected lineup is built on experience and quality in equal measure. Matt Freese in goal, Tyler Freeman, Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson anchoring the defensive line, Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams in the heart of midfield, two players who have spent years competing at the highest level of European club football and arrived here ready to impose themselves on this tournament from the very first minute. Sergino Dest and Timmy Tillman providing width and creativity on either side. And at the very front of everything, the partnership that America has been dreaming about. Christian Pulisic and Folarin Balogun. Pulisic, 27 years old, 86 appearances for the United States, 33 goals, 20 assists, the fastest American in history to reach 50 international goal contributions. A player who has spent his entire career being the person his nation turns to when the pressure is at its absolute heaviest. In Qatar in 2022, He scored the goal that sent America through. Celebrated it with a rawness and emotion that told you everything. That moment cost him something. That moment meant everything. But this tonight is something else entirely. This is home. This is Los Angeles. This is 70,000 American voices singing his name in a stadium built for exactly this kind of occasion. Every pass he makes tonight will be felt by an entire nation. Every run he makes will carry the hopes of millions of people watching from coast to coast. He has already said it himself. Playing a World Cup on home soil feels like nothing he has ever experienced before. And preparation and physical readiness. It is belief, pure genuine. Unshakable belief. And standing beside him, Folarin Balogun, born in New York, raised in England, a forward who carries two identities and plays with the freedom of someone who has nothing left to prove and everything left to achieve. Fast. Clinical, intelligent in the final third. A player who arrived at this tournament as perhaps the least talked about member of the American attack, and who has every intention of leaving it as one of the most remembered. Outside SoFi Stadium tonight, the atmosphere is unlike anything Los Angeles has ever hosted. Fans who have never watched a football match in their lives standing side by side with supporters who have followed this team through every qualification cycle, every heartbreak, every near miss over the last decade. Families, students, veterans of the sport and complete newcomers discovering it for the very first time, united by the simple, powerful feeling that something significant is about to happen. Some of them are certain. They point to the squad, to Pochettino, to the home advantage and say, this team is ready. This is the year. This is the moment American football finally takes its place among the best in the world. Others are quieter, more honest about the gap that still exists between where American football is and where it needs to be to win a World Cup. They love their team, they will cheer every touch, but they carry the memory of every tournament exit, and they know that Paraguay, for all their modest ranking, are more than capable of ending this dream before it truly begins. Both groups will be inside that stadium tonight, and regardless of what they believe, they will be on their feet from the first whistle to the last. And now it comes down to this. No more press conferences, no more injury updates. No more predictions or rankings or tactical analysis. The pitch does not care about any of it. Chris Richards may or may not be fit. Julio Enciso may or may not start. Pulisic may or may not find the net in front of his own crowd. Paraguay may defend deep and hit on the counter, or they may surprise everyone and come forward with a boldness that nobody expected. Nobody knows. That is the point. That has always been the point. Because the FIFA World Cup has never been about what should happen, it has always been about what does happen. The moments nobody predicted, the goals nobody saw coming, the stories nobody had written yet. Tonight on American soil, one of those stories begins. No more press conferences. The pitch does not care about any of it. It never does. Chris Richards may or may not be fit. Julio Enciso may or may not start. Pulisic may or may not find the net in front of his own people. Paraguay may sit deep and counter with devastating speed, or they may come forward with a boldness that nobody in that stadium expected. Nobody knows what is coming. That is the beauty of it. That has always been the beauty of it. The United States is ready. Paraguay is ready. 70,000 people are already on their feet. And the only question that matters right now is a simple one. Will the USA survive Paraguay? In a few moments, the pitch will give us the only answer that counts.